Matt Sydal versus Brian Cage. Alexis Carrillo here, back with some more wrestling talk content on the Alexis Carrillo brand YouTube channel. Make sure you hit that subscribe button so you don't miss any wrestling talk content in the future. The X Division Championship is on the line at Slammiversary in a rematch of sorts between the current champion, Matt Sydal, facing off against the Machine, against the Swolverine, Brian Cage, in what looks to be a very divided, or a very polarizing, dividing match amongst Impact Wrestling fans. Simply put, this match is indeed for the X Division title, and a lot of fans are frowning on the fact that Brian Cage, given his size, his weight, and his overall power and dominance, could be X Division champion come this Sunday night at Slammiversary. What I do want to point out is that Matt Sydal's title reign has been entertaining. In fact, I think this has been the most entertaining facet of Matt Sydal I've ever seen. And I met him and I discovered his wrestling in WWE. So big strides on his part to develop his character and give us this sense of, he's a great performer in the ring, we know that. But he's also kind of annoying on the mic. He's entertaining, but annoying, and he, hits you with his speeches and his third eye kind of stuff. So, all in all, Matt Sydal as X Division champion has been a success over the past few months. Now, going over to the Brian Cage situation, do I think Brian Cage should become X Division champion? Do I think Impact should go that route? And I say, sure, why not? It's different, it's new, and Brian Cage certainly has demonstrated in all of his matches in Impact Wrestling, especially his match against Kongo Kong, a few weeks ago, where for two big heavyweights that you would normally expect a big old brawl all around the ring and power moves all of a sudden. No, we got a very entertaining main event from both those guys, and Kongo Kong and Brian Cage had to do with that. Another thing I want to point out about Brian Cage possibly becoming X Division champion. Samoa Joe did it in the past. And back then, nobody complained that Samoa Joe, a heavier guy, a stronger guy, a bigger guy than most of the other X Division guys of his time, was getting the championship. He was getting the strap, as some people call it. Nobody complained, so why complain now? Because Brian Cage is slightly taller than Joe was? Because Brian Cage is slightly more muscular, stronger than Joe was? Hey, I back at Under Pressure, I predicted Brian Cage was coming out with the X Division Championship. And yes, that prediction was not true, but they kind of, found a loophole. It was a count-out victory, if I'm not mistaken, with Kongo Kong's involvement. Now at Slammiversary, I firmly believe Brian Cage walks out the X Division Champion, and I think that's okay. And I think he holds onto that title for months and months and months. Remember, Brian Cage hasn't been pinned. He hasn't been submitted. And I don't think it's going to come this Sunday with Matt Sydal. And as far as I'm concerned, he wins the X Division Championship, but there's an easy way out. There's an easy way to take that title off of him, and that is to make a multi-man match. And have Brian Cage not be involved in the decision. Have him not be pinned. Have him not tap out. That way, Brian Cage calls himself former X Division champion. That way, Brian Cage wears the title belt. That way, Brian Cage protects his undefeated streak, both in his eyes and in the eyes of the fans. And I think that's the most important thing. And yes, Brian Cage is a heavyweight. Brian Cage does have the utmost potential to become Impact World Champion in the future. But if they push him right away into that position, some fans might reject him right away. Some fans might not enjoy him being world champion so soon, even though he looks the part, even though he wrestles the part. And we haven't heard him speak. That'll come soon enough. But as far as I'm concerned, Brian Cage walks out X Division champion at Slammiversary. I have no doubt that, that will be the result of that match. I know there's a lot of fans who have a different prediction for this match. I would love for you to drop it on the comment section below. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel. And remember, this is the Slammiversary pay-per-view preview week right here on the channel. More preview videos for all the other matches on the card are coming up. That's it for me. Till next time.